This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I have a special guest joining me today. We've got Heijin Mignoli joining us, and she is with Dream Vacations. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited about this. I love to vacation, so I can't wait to hear all about this. So let's start there. Share with us a little bit about Dream Vacations.
Well, Dream Vacations started out as a cruise booking agency. And then they decided, we don't want to just limit ourselves to cruises. So they branched out and they renamed themselves Dream Vacations. They used to be Cruise One. And some people still know me as working with Cruise One. But now we're Dream Vacations because we do cruises, both river and ocean, and all-inclusive land packages.
Amazing. Amazing. What a fun business to be in.
It is. It's always nice to help people find the right vacation for them.
Yeah. So tell me about your background and kind of how you got into this.
I always loved to travel. I always had the travel bug. By the time I graduated college, I think I'd been to 25 countries.
Wow.
And after college, I became a flight attendant because I wanted to travel. But then reality kind of set in, I had to kind of stay put to raise children and all that. But I still was always interested in traveling. And about 18 years ago, I decided I wanted to book travel and be a travel agent on the side. And now it's becoming more and more than just being on the side. It's starting to be the full business.
Amazing. Well, you're the real deal. You have traveled the world, so you have real experience that you can share with the people that you work with. So how rewarding is that to get to help people in that way?
It's just really fun, and when people come back and say they had a great time or whatever, and it's just fun. It's fun to help people plan their getaways, their dream vacations, so to speak.
Yeah. And I understand that you are giving back, that you have some initiatives going on. So tell me all about that.
Oh, I'm really excited about this. My husband and I had said for a while there, we've been so fortunate in our life. And so we wanted to kind of start giving back through like volunteer work or whatever. And then I thought, I could do something with the cruise lines or land vacations to raise money for a couple of the nonprofits. So I'm working with Gwyneth's Gift and also Spreading Smiles at Renato's. And we have a few planned trips. And for anyone who is interested in going to France or the Caribbean, we have a certain itinerary, and a pretty good bit of my commission will go to those two nonprofits.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope we get a good response from it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And both charities do such amazing things for our community. So thank you for doing that. I love it.
I wanted to make sure they were local nonprofits too. I think that's important.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Do you find that there are any myths or misconceptions about what you do?
I think the biggest misconception is people think they have to pay the travel agent. And they don't. There's some large travel agencies that might charge like a minimum fee, but I do not. Our agency does not. And we get paid by the travel companies. So you're not going to come out of pocket by coming to me and say, hey, can you look into this or that? And I think that's probably the number one misconception. They think they have to pay, or they have to pay additional or whatever. And the thing is, if a person books directly themselves or they book through me, the fare is going to be the same, because the cruise line or all inclusive, they're not going to deduct the travel agent commission from it. So, why not let me do the work for you?
I'm really glad that you cleared that up because I myself thought that it was going to be more expensive to book through a travel agent. But knowing it's the same and then knowing that you'll do the work for me, I mean, that seems like a win-win, right?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is because Dream Vacations is a pretty large company. And so they sometimes block spaces way in advance, and so they can get
Mm.
better rates. So that's the other
Okay.
reason. You never know. You could get a much better rate by using a travel agency rather than going directly to the travel company.
Amazing. And so walk me through the service. So maybe take me through a relationship. So someone contacts you, they say, I'm interested in going to France. What all do you do for your clients? Walk me through that.
Well, I have to get to know what they're looking for. Who's going
Mhm.
to be traveling with you? Is it like a honeymoon experience? Are you going to have young children with you? So we have to get to know what it is you're looking for.
Mhm.
And then I start doing my research. I start looking at what's available, what the pricing is. The other thing to keep in mind, though, is I may not always come back to the client with the least expensive option because that might not be the right option for you.
Mhm.
I could put you on, I'm going to use cruise ships, but I could put you on Carnival. But if you're used to very upscale dining and upscale living, you're not going to be happy on Carnival.
Mhm.
As opposed, I'm not going to put a family of 4 with young children that are very active on, say, Crystal Cruise Line, because that is a luxury cruise line, which is very la-di-da. And the children are not going to be happy on that. So you have to find the right plan or the right vacation for the people that
Mhm.
you're working with.
That makes a lot of sense, and I imagine much appreciated by your clients. And then, do you also help with things to do while they are on the vacation, or is it just the travel piece?
I can do both,
Hmm.
but normally they don't really ask me to do the
Gotcha.
individual excursions because a lot of times those are offered through the land programs or the cruise
Ah,
programs. But if they ask me, hey, what's good to see? And I have,
mhm.
organized, like I had one client that went to Barcelona. They were going to get there before the cruise ship left. So I got them the hotel room and I also told them about what to see. And I got the car service and everything, and they took them around and they had a great time.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it is helpful for someone. I mean, maybe you might have some experience working with clients or maybe going yourself that someone maybe who has never been to that destination, um, you might have more expertise.
Hopefully.
Yes, yes, amazing. So, what is something that you wish the listeners knew about Dream Vacations?
Ooh, um, I think that I'm really going to work hard for you. I'm going to really try to
Mm-hmm.
find you what you're looking for, the best value. Um, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to do a good job taking care of you.
Yeah, yeah. If someone came to you and they said, I'm thinking about becoming a travel agent, what advice would you give them?
Ooh, I would say it's very difficult. It really is hard to, brand yourself, get your name out there and all that. But if you have a plan and you have a good network,
Mm-hmm.
it's I wouldn't discourage it, but I would ask them
Mm-hmm.
too, why are you doing it? Some people
Yeah.
only want to become a travel agent because they want to go on discounted travel. Well, there's other ways you can do that.
Right.
You don't have to start a business to do that. And I've actually had a number of people come to me, and that was their number one focus. Um, so I'm like, if that's why you're doing it, it's way too much work for that. I can get you a really good deal. But if you really want to, work with people and find their vacations and all, then yeah, they should absolutely go for it. But you need a plan, and it's harder than it seems.
Yeah. It seems like it's the type of business that really relies on relationship building. And
It does.
I've met you in person and now a couple of times virtually, and I can tell that you're very good at the relationship building. And so I can see why you're thriving in this business.
Well, thank you.
So if the listeners want to work with you, if they want to learn more from you, where can they find you?
The best way to reach me is probably by texting me or emailing me, only because, like so many people, when you get a phone call and you don't recognize the number, sometimes you don't answer. So I would say shoot me a text, 540-226-0375, or send me an email, and I will respond to you very quickly. And once I have you in my phone, after that, when you call, I will be picking up.
Amazing, amazing. I'll add all of that to the show notes as well. And thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing dream vacations with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate what you do. I love getting the newsletter.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.